We're talking about Russian interference in the United States here, where there was collusion between the Trump administration and Russia. That's obscured a much larger discussion that should be taking place about whether or not what Russia is doing in the rest of the world right now and what Russia's doing in Europe right now. And part of it is just pulling the Band-Aid off.
Than it was during most of the 4 decades of Cold War.
Look at the state of Russia now. They're in enormous decline. They're, by any definition, these guys are on a toboggan run. The question is when the run ends. You know, they have a second-rate military power. They have significant advantages geographically where they're engaged. They have a nuclear arsenal that can blow up the whole world. But in terms of their efficacy, their capacity is de minimis compared to ours.
Not because of NATO expansion, but because of the Iraq invasion.
This new phony nationalism and populism that is being used by charlatans all across the world right now. The only thing keeping Putin where he is that it's the United States as the enemy. He's going to demonstrate that they're powerful again. But eventually he's going to have to produce something. And I don't see where it gets produced, absent a change in behavior.
Hi, thank you. Rachel Oswald, Congressional Court.
People ask me, what was the hardest part of leaving the vice presidency? There were 2 things. Losing Air Force 2 and not getting up every morning and having a detailed national security brief on what was happening around the world. It's a very difficult spot to be in now when foreign leaders call me. And they do, because I've never, ever, ever would say anything negative to a foreign leader, and I mean it sincerely, about a sitting president, no matter how fundamentally I disagree with them. And it is not my role to make foreign policy. But the questions across the board range from what the hell's going on, Joe, to what advice do you have for me? And my advice always is I give them names of individuals in the administration who I think to be knowledgeable and committed, and I say you should talk to so-and-so.
I want to thank him for being with us today, and I want to thank him for, 4.5 decades of extraordinary service to this country of ours.